It is the big day. It's the first day of the launch of Hong Kong High-Speed Railway. 5 o'clock this morning, it already opened to the public this really early morning, but actually I can tell you a lot of passengers and also the fans of a railway, high-speed railway, they all waited. And also at this floor, we also had quite a ground opening ceremony this morning. So a lot of citizens, media friends, and also passengers took pictures and covered the report. I'm quite lucky. Besides, I'm a correspondent, but look at what I'm holding. Very luckily, I have a ticket. So that's a ticket from Hong Kong so this is from Hong Kong West Kowloon Station to Shenzhen North Station. So at 7 o'clock, I'll be on board, heading to Shenzhen. And of course, you also need to bring your ID with you. So before 7, I should check in. So that's around 45 minutes before the time to departure. So we need to go through a certain level of checks. And because we also cross the border, so as we're all familiar, because this is the co-location border check arrangement in the West Kowloon Station. It's very convenient, but still we need some time to do all the process. So let's head into the preparation. So just now I am at the entrance of the Western Kowloon Station. So that's linked to Hong Kong subway. So for the whole railway station actually in a very good location. If you depart from Hong Kong or you come into Hong Kong and want to go to the center of Hong Kong, so here you can take a subway and you also take buses, and we also have a bunch of taxis waiting here. So we can tell you the location of the Kowloon high-speed rail station. This is so convenient for both passengers, either from Hong Kong or from mainland China. So we just left the entrance that's at the first floor. We are right now coming to the railway station, and this is the bus station at this floor. And let's go downstairs one more. So I believe our viewers have certain general idea about the West Kowloon Station, and this is the largest underground high-speed rail station. And you can tell here, very busy. So let's look at the modern design. So you can see a very big structure, all the steel structure here. And all the steels actually here used can build up a Tower Eiffel. Look at this side. Although I got my ticket, but I would also like to show our viewers how to get the ticket by yourself. So in Hong Kong, if you would like to buy a highway speed ticket, and you know, like 12306, that's the website you can get, and you also can make a phone call or a travel agency to help you buy one, and you also can buy on site. Here, these are the machines for you to buy the ticket by yourself. And if you book a ticket online, you also can get your ticket here. So let me show you. This is the big screen, so you can see whether you want to buy one. And there are two ways. So either a Visa card or a Badatong, that's a Hong Kong transportation card. So here are the tickets or the number of trains here available. I believe right now there are 44 stations directly linked with Hong Kong. So I believe we're quite familiar. It's not so hard to buy. So you just decide where you want to go and how many tickets you want to buy. And either can touch the screen by your Visa card or you can use the AutoPass. So the coins or money, and here will be the ID card. So a lot of people right now, if you come to Hong Kong, you need to have another additional ID card with you. So either it's like the passport one or like the a card one, you can scan here. So this is the ticket area. There are also around 20 windows. You also can buy the tickets directly with the people at the ticket area. And there's also can pay by WeChat or other electronic payment. So you only can buy 10 tickets here. So which means you can buy either yourself to different 10 stations or you can buy 10 tickets. But of course, you need to have 10 ID cards with you. And we also have volunteers and also the people here helping us. And we also have a bunch of machines here. As we see, today is the big day. And the first train will departure at 7 a.m. But we can tell the people here actually make themselves ready at 5 a.m. to welcome all the passengers. Let's come into the other side. You can see a whole bunch of medias here. Just now at here, we had a small opening ceremony. So you can see this is a place to take pictures, and the media friends also took some coverage here. And this is also making the check here. You can see you can have the passengers going through the gate. So just insert it to the ticket and get the ticket when you're coming out. And here I show you the fare. So we talk about right now we from West Kowloon stations and directly to 44 stations. So the shorter distance is from West Kowloon to Shenzhen Futian, Shenzhen North, Guangming, Qingsheng to Guangzhou Source. So all these are short distance, and the Hong Kong Railway Company will arrange 144 trains to all these destinations, which means every 15 or 30 minutes we have a train available from Shenzhen, Guangzhou to Hong Kong, or from Hong Kong to these destinations. So here show you the details and timetables. Here are 44 stations. They're all available here. You can check the time, the fare, and you also can check it online. One reminder is to think about you want to buy either RMB or Hong Kong dollar. So every month, based on the last month's exchange rate, it will adjust the ticket. So that's why the ticket price is floating. So that's just based on exchange rate. If you want to buy ticket here on site, think about whether you only can buy from Hong Kong to mainland China, or I can buy other tickets. So you can see later on I will show you to say, let's say we buy a ticket online, that's a ticket is between mainland China stations, whether we can still get the ticket here. I will show you later. So here, this is the gate. It's a very big decoration. Today you can see this is service commencement ceremony. This will be a memorable experience for all the passengers. Besides all the media friends, we also can see our passengers with their luggages. We have people living in mainland China or they from mainland China and work here in Hong Kong. And tomorrow is the Mid-Autumn Festival, so the passengers feel like they are very luckily. So at the first day, they can take a train back home, so they can celebrate the festival with their families to celebrate Mid-Autumn Festival. So we can tell many passengers and people gathering here. And what do we have here? It's a spokesperson, or we can tell. We're from CCTV and CGTN. Can we chat for a little bit? So just very quickly, and today, how many people you think, besides passengers, how many people gather here? Normally you have a lot of fans, so they really wait for this moment. I see today actually a lot of them are not really the passengers, they are the fans. They really want to come here to celebrate. We are also very happy, and tomorrow is Mid-Autumn Festival, and also welcome the friends from mainland China and also our local citizens. They can enjoy the service, and this is very convenient for them to travel in between each other. I believe this is a very good gift from Hong Kong to mainland China. Thank you so much. So we can tell this is the cartoon character.
那时间比较赶，我们呢赶紧带着观众网友们。我们是央视新闻哦。你好。就是公司里面，公司也是有他的 logo。好的，谢谢你。看了。谢谢，这是机车哥的形象。好，谢谢你们，我们在直播，不耽误了，谢谢你啊。好的，我们现在呢，因为实在人也比较多，媒体也比较多，我们大家
So let's also check another point, but we need to manage our time because before 7:30 or 7:45 at the latest, we need to go through the check to be on board on time. And this is all the windows and also to sell tickets. I believe all of you are quite familiar with. So what I would like to show our viewers here is some windows only show the ticket, the return ticket from Hong Kong to mainland China and then back to Hong Kong. And with green colors here, sell the ticket to any stations around China. So based on the current arrangement, if you bought the ticket online and want to take the ticket here, they will charge $10 to $30 Hong Kong dollars as processing fee. So this is a really happy day. We get the ticket. That's the first train departure from West Kowloon Station. Let's heading to the gate. So at 5 o'clock, the ceremony already finished, but we can tell a lot of fans and people here gathering here is so excited. Because this is with great significance. I believe our viewers quite familiar with the news of the whole Hong Kong high-speed railway. Although just 26 kilometers, just from the West Kowloon Station to Shenzhen, 26 kilometers in Hong Kong, but it incorporates Hong Kong into 25,000 kilometer national rail network. So which means that bring Hong Kong directly with mainland China. So that's basically build up the whole connectivity. So quite special here. We talk about this is the co-location border check arrangement. So we need to get the ticket ready.
哎，这个是我的车票。从那边啊，往前啊，谢谢啊，在那边要绕过来是吗？哦。我们的这个摄像的这个通行证和车票，我也替他先保管着。
And also need to get our ID card ready. So let's come into the security gate. We talk about the co-location border check arrangement. I believe you travel abroad, you're quite familiar either from mainland China to any country or even to Hong Kong. You also need to go through the process of coming to Hong Kong. So, like you need to separate. So we talk about the exit or entrance process, or should be separated. So either you're on board a bus and also need to get off the bus and need to do the whole process to entering to the border. So this is really not convenient, especially for the people with a lot of luggages. So we talk about here at the West Kowloon Station. The good thing is we have a co-location border check arrangement, which means our passengers, you do not need to have a long way to go for all the check arrangement. Let's say here is for mainland China custom. And on the other side is a Hong Kong border, just within 100-meter distance. Just with our tickets, with our ID card, with all our belongings, very conveniently, you can go through all the check process at once. So for the railway passengers, I believe this is really people-centered service. So right now, we will get our tickets.
哦，前面姐，好的好的，谢谢。哎，你的身份证在里面。那么现在呢，我就要拿着我的车票呢，进入这个闸口。
All right, we are right now heading to the gate. And then we'll go through the security check. My colleague Li Qiu right now in Shenzhen North Station. And they will also bring you the coverage from Shenzhen North. So at 6:45, there will be a real speed train from Shenzhen to Hong Kong.
好的，今天有特别多的工作人员为我们提供服务。
There are a lot of people here provide service.
Oh, 那么这个今天开的这个短途列车呢，基本上都在这个。
So for short distance, there's a short haul train departure is all here at 7 o'clock.
那么我们现在
And the longest route, we talk about among the 44 stations, the longest, the farthest route is to Beijing South Station. So that's around the 8 hours, 46 minutes. 56 minutes, so that's less than 9 hours, and just need 14 minutes you can from Hong Kong to Shenzhen, Fujian. So today for our trip it's around 19 minutes from Hong Kong to Shenzhen North. So I'm so excited, and right now we are very soon to the gate, and let me show you what's inside. So that will be the security check. So we will give the race to our friends in Shenzhen. I will see you soon. So I have our correspondent from Shenzhen North. To all the viewers, my name is Li Qiu. Just now, Gan Lu introduced the whole situation in Hong Kong, and here we go at Shenzhen. So we are at the Shenzhen North, and the train next to me will be the first train from Shenzhen to Hong Kong at 6:44. So it's around 19 minutes trip, and this is also the first train from mainland China to Hong Kong. So talking about this railway train, I also have a guest with me, Mr. Wang Zhanxin. Hello to all, my name is Wang Zhanxin, the Deputy Secretary General of Shenzhen Bay North. So the train will soon to departure. I believe you're so excited. Yes, of course. We really prepared for a long time to welcome this moment. So starting from the first day, we constructed the Hong Kong station, and we start to prepare our Shenzhen part. So from April till today, actually we also have a lot of pre-operation trials. Everything goes very well, and we're fully ready heading to Hong Kong. So what kind of the train and what kind of the situation here? Would you please show us more? So this is the CRH 1H. So this is a very good train to transit between cities. How many people can be on board? So 637, a designed number of people. So that's a 613 people. So the speed is 200 kilometers per hour. So we talk about the train transport from Guangzhou, Shenzhen, and Hong Kong, and all trains can run at 200 kilometers per hour. We already heard the announcement. I believe this is the last boarding call. And right now, only the media friends, I believe, here covering the report, and all the passengers are already on board. And we look at here, we are waiting for the historic moment. The time right now is 6:40 a.m. So, Mr. Ang, would you please tell us about the stopover stations? We talk about the Guangzhou, Shenzhen, Hong Kong railways. That's basically the railway network link all these areas. Also, we started from Guangzhou North. That will link Wuguang Station to Guangzhou, Dongguan, Shenzhen. And then the destination is Hong Kong West Kowloon Station. So that's 115 kilometers in mainland China. And this is a key part for the whole national rail network, and this is also a very important project. That's the cooperative project between mainland China and Hong Kong. So I believe they have a great importance. So besides the Hong Kong part will be launched today, and we will also basically will start the link from Hong Kong to 44 stations in mainland China, and to Shenzhen just need 14 minutes, to Guangzhou 47 minutes. So this is the broadcast, and the first train will soon to start the journey. We shorten the distance between mainland China to Hong Kong, and we also shorten the processing time for getting across the border. And right now we just saw the first train right now departed. To all the viewers, right now we are at Shenzhen. To show you, here we are at the Shenzhen North. So this is the launch ceremony, or this is a launching day for Hong Kong high-speed rail network. Just now we just witnessed the first train departure from Shenzhen to Hong Kong. So quite relieved, right? So I believe that's a very good start. That's also lay a solid foundation for the coming up trains. And I believe we also have a lot to do. So we see this today. We have a lot of media friends covering the report. We can tell this is a really heat news. So more than 100 media outlets this morning reported this news. So there are a lot of arrangements, right? A lot of prepare you made ahead of this. Yes, that whole bunch of arrangement. So especially for our station, we are the Shenzhen North station. So from the ticket selling to the tickets to the passengers entering to the gate and to the onboard, we also upgrade our hardware. And we also have a better arrangement of our software, and also build up our staff's capability, and also upgrade our facilities in the stations, especially for the ticket selling and taking machines. So I will show you more to show you the whole process, give you a full experience. So talk about the Hong Kong section. I believe that actually that's a two-way opening. So we also very soon will have a train coming from Hong Kong head to Shenzhen. So we have 66 trains travel between. So we have the first train just departed at 6:45, and for Hong Kong, their first train will start at 7 from Hong Kong station. So right now the time is okay, 6:47. So very soon we will have the first train departure from Hong Kong. We are fully prepared to welcome them arrive. So we are heading to the ticket facilities to see what kind of preparations we made before the big day. So my first impression here in Shenzhen, I believe there are a lot of. So no matter where I want to go, let's have a very clear directions. So we have, I believe we have East and West Square. So we talk about the whole Shenzhen. So we have 2 squares for the eastern part. So like the passengers coming here either by bus or by the public transportation like subway. That'll be the first arrival station for them. And for western stations or the western square, we have less passengers there. So right now it's not 7 yet, but we have a lot of passengers here because I believe it's a Mid-Autumn Festival, so we have a lot of people here. They will be on the train back home. So because of the festival, the national holiday will also have more trains available. So we want to bring more passengers back home. So yesterday I also did some homework. I look at like our cleaning work and also a lot of jobs that need to be finished when all the passengers left the station. So we talked about yesterday actually we'll need to do the cleaning job. That'll be finished around 1 or 2 a.m. We are right now coming to tickets area. We have 4 this kind of ticket area. So this is one of it. So we have Windows 17 and 18 that's specific for passengers travel to Hong Kong. So at each ticket area, we have a bundle specifically for the trains to Hong Kong. So 10 days ago, the ticket actually was available to Hong Kong. I believe that's a really hard to buy. Just open the 12306 app. So very soon, just in a second, the tickets were all gone. Yes, as you said, we had around 65 trains travel between Shenzhen and Hong Kong. So yesterday I saw it. We already sold more than 10,000 tickets. So the first train that For the old 613 seats, we sold more than 600 tickets. So we open the app, we can see from Shenzhen North to Hong Kong. So you can see we have a lot of trains available. We have 65 trains today available from Shenzhen to Hong Kong. And we also from Hong Kong to Shenzhen North and to Futian. So in Shenzhen, there are 2 stations, either Shenzhen North or Futian. So we talk about the short interval between 2 trains, around every 5 minutes. So every 5 minutes, at the shortest interval, there will be a train from Shenzhen to Hong Kong. So I believe this arrangement can fulfill the passengers' needs, right? For our passengers heading to Hong Kong, I believe this is a new way for them, very convenient. So this new way of transportation, how that different from others? We talk about from the ticketing, from when we buy the ticket. It's the same that we buy the ticket to Hong Kong or to other mainland China. It's a little bit different, especially for you want to cancel the ticket or want to change the ticket. So for the ticket between mainland China, it's like 30 minutes before the train departure, you can still change your ticket. But the time for Hong Kong part is 60 minutes. So 6 minutes before the train departures, you still can change your ticket. And you also cannot get on board from the stations that not on your ticket. So give you examples. Say, actually, I buy the ticket 1 station's previous. So we talk about I actually get on board, or I just bought the ticket for short distance, but actually my destination is Hong Kong, that's belong to long distance. Then that you want to say I can pay the difference fees, but actually it's not allowed for Hong Kong part. Otherwise you got a fine of 1,500 to 3,000 RMB. That's quite serious fine. So for our viewers, so just buy the tickets for your actual departure and destination stations. So coming up here, this is for the verification, ticket verification. So we talk about for the Hong Kong part, which way they need to go. So the passengers, we're heading to Hong Kong. You need to get the ticket that's in blue color. So this is an auto check. We're talking about auto verification. So here can check that your ticket. So this is quite different from other mainland China stations. And we used to use the facial scan. So that helps to increase efficiency. So for the passengers, if they're holding the exit entrance permit for traveling to and from Hong Kong and Macau, they need to go through another channel. So they need to go through the windows. They cannot do the auto ones.
才是非澳大身份证之外的一些证件进站还有就是我们这个内地的旅客身份证
Because for mainland China, people go to Hong Kong. Besides your ID card, that's the second generation of our ID card, you also need a exit entrance permit for traveling to and from Hong Kong and Macau. So we talk about the tickets. Tickets are all the same, no matter where you want to go. So for the people, if your destination is Hong Kong, you need to get the blue one. Otherwise, you cannot exit in Hong Kong. So make sure you need to get a paper one, get a paper ticket. So we're coming to the security check area. So after the auto check, all the passengers will go through our security check. Right now it's 6:47 a.m. And the first train from Hong Kong to Shenzhen will be very soon departed. My colleague already on board. Let's also look at what's the situation here in Hong Kong. So to all the viewers right now, I'm already on board. So right now the Hong Kong part, that's called the Vibrant train or the Vibrant Express. So that's the high-speed train from Hong Kong to Shenzhen, and will also link to the other 44 stations in mainland China. So we talk about on the left-hand side is from Shenzhen, on the right-hand side, this is the Hong Kong part. So at the Shenzhen station, we talk about the security check. As we know, there are a lot of certain things that you cannot really allow to carry on as your belongings. Anything special, anything you cannot take with you to Hong Kong. Because we also need to do the border check in Hong Kong, so you also need to be familiar with what kind of things you cannot get with you in Hong Kong. And for smokers, you cannot bring more than 19 cigarettes with you to Hong Kong, which means less than one bag. So for our viewers, especially our smokers, you cannot bring more than 19 cigarettes with you when you do the border check to Hong Kong. So this is something different. So we talk about the Hong Kong part. The Hong Kong high-speed rail train, I believe, will soon to be departed. Let's look at the situation in Hong Kong. And of course, the train already departed from the station.
广深港高铁香港段呢，它全程这个通道是一个隧道，是吧？
对，这个大部分都在隧道中运行，只有一些
And the majority part of the journey from Hong Kong to Shenzhen in tunnels.
信号不是很好。
So the train travels in tunnels that will impact the signals. So I just would like our viewers know the first train from Hong Kong to Shenzhen already departed. Let's welcome them here in Shenzhen.
咱们今天哈，除了这个广深港高铁香港段之外呢，还开通了哪些列车呢？
So besides the Hong Kong sections, what other sections also opened today? So I believe there are 127 trains actually. They have their first day.
列车，其中有13趟是叫我们叫跨线列车。
The 13 out of 127 is a long distance train.
到昆明，
So we're heading to Beijing, to Kunming, to Shanghai. More than 40 cities. So this is the national rail network. So the train or the routes available starting from today is from Hong Kong to Beijing. So here is Guangzhou, Shenzhen, and Hong Kong, and coming up to Shenzhen, and coming up to Beijing. So the yellow route, that's the high-speed rail network. So the longest route available starting from today, from Beijing or from Hong Kong to Beijing. And talk about Hong Kong to Shanghai will be from Changsha, Hangzhou to Shanghai. And we also have one from Hong Kong to Kunming. So they'll be stop over Guiyang and then to Kunming. That's also another long distance route. So I believe we incorporate Hong Kong into the national rail network to link with a lot of the long distance route. So we talk about heading to east, to Chaoshan, Xiamen, and to Fuzhou. So besides Hong Kong, Shenzhen and Hong Kong is short in time, and through the rail train, it helps us to shorten time to other 44 stations around China. So it's just 26 kilometers for the Hong Kong section, but that 26 kilometer incorporates into 25,000 kilometer national rail network. Hong Kong right now become a part of the network that will be significantly shorten the time difference and space distance between mainland China and Hong Kong. So we talk about the 5771 rail trains departed from Shenzhen to Hong Kong. Just 19 minutes. The train will be very soon arriving in Hong Kong, which means 7:05, which is now, the train will soon arrive in Hong Kong. So that's a very convenient journey. So that will also bring the tie even closer between mainland China and Hong Kong in terms of trade, investment, tourism. What about the old days? When the days we didn't have the high-speed railway between Shenzhen and Hong Kong. So we have the express train or bus, but that's not really the co-location border check. We need to do 2 times border check. That's really long time consuming. So how long does it take? Just around an hour or 2. So that's all days, just the express train. So they'll need 1 hour or even 2 to do the border check. But starting from today, we have that co-location border check arrangement. So we do not need to really do the 2 border check in any 44 stations. So this is so convenient. So you can finish all the border check in West Kowloon Station. All right. Let's heading to our next destination. Where we go? Right now, time is 7:07 a.m. in the morning. I believe our correspondent Gan Lu, my colleague Gan Lu's train will arrive at 7:19. So that's the train from Hong Kong, the first train from Hong Kong to Shenzhen. So the train will arrive at the platform 11. So this is the waiting room. So starting from here, we'll have 200 trains from Shenzhen to other 18 provincial cities. The passengers, around 120,000 passengers, make their journey from here. So this is the waiting room here. So they have different zones. The whole environment is quite comfortable. We talk about platform 11. Let's ask our reception here. So this is also our big brand here. So we talk about this is also kind of the name card I want to build. So I'm asking how to head to platform 11. So we will basically provide service to our passengers. So if they miss their train or they also have the disabled passenger, they need additional help, so they will all arrange here. All right, so let's head into platform 11 to welcome the arrival of the train from Hong Kong. So we also have the markers here showing that the right card ticket or blue card ticket. Because for the blue ones, you can just go through the gate by yourself. But for the red one, you need to go to the windows. But the ticket to Hong Kong are all blue. Right now we are heading to platform 11. Alright, you can see G5736 will arrive 7:19 from Hong Kong to Shenzhen. So that also the first train left Hong Kong to Shenzhen. So which direction they coming from? This direction? So okay, from north, from south to north. We also can see we have our media front waiting to welcome the train. Hope you can see the tunnel very far from here, but the train from Hong Kong will very soon from that direction heading to us. So my colleague at carriage 4. So we talk about the train of Guangzhou, Hong Kong, Shenzhen, Hong Kong. That's all the short length of train. They have 8 carriages and they also have 16 carriages. But the one very soon arrived is with 8 carriages. The train heading to Hong Kong is old Fuxinghao, and the train from Hong Kong to mainland China is a Vibrant Express. Talking about the configuration, actually that's all the same, but we talk about the type. This is Fuxing. And this is a standard train for mainland China high-speed rail train. This one, I believe, from Guangzhou south, heading to Hong Kong. And this is also the first train from Guangzhou south to Hong Kong. Then we talk about the speed. The high speed can reach to what sense? So from Guangzhou to Shenzhen, it's around 300 kilometers per hour. And to Hong Kong, because it's the majority of the journey actually is through tunnel, so the design speed is 200 kilometers per hour.
所以非常快捷。
So still, it saves a lot of time.
现在呢是7点16分了，还有3分钟，这个高5736次列车呢就要进站了。咱们刚刚还
3 minutes.
内地开往
We will very soon see the train from Hong Kong. Just now, we witnessed the train departure from Shenzhen to Hong Kong. Very soon, we will welcome the first train from Hong Kong arrived in Shenzhen.
我们可以按照这个地面的标志来找一下4号。
So let's find the carriage 4. That's where my colleague will getting off from carriage 4. So we talk about we will not limit the train to Hong Kong or arrived in Shenzhen from Hong Kong in platform 1 or 11. So we not really locks the train to or from Hong Kong to platform 1 or 11. Actually, that's not fixed. Here we go. This is the first train from Hong Kong. This is a Vibrant Express with orange color. So this is from Hong Kong Railway Company. We can see the interior design. It was color gray, white, orange, right? Very vibrant. That is why Vibrant Express. So carriage 4, our colleague. Right now, seeing carriage 4, you can see a lot of lovely smiling faces. From Hong Kong to mainland China, they're the first group of passengers arrived in mainland China from Hong Kong. This is a historic moment. So besides our passengers, we also have media friends. Taking photos to memorize this historic moment. Very, very soon, just in a short time. I arrived from Hong Kong to Shenzhen. So the train, I believe that's quite different from the look, from the design, because the train from Hong Kong, especially for that short distance, actually is operated by Hong Kong company. It's called Vibrant Express. But the train from mainland China to Shenzhen, actually that's from a mainland China company. So that's CRH. So this is a specifically designed and designated for Hong Kong and produced in Qingdao. So this is quite a good look, very chic. Vibrant Express, I believe the name Vibrant Express actually also from the public. So they select the name from a lot of different options. And this is like the flying dragon. I believe this is really eye-catching. So this is the economic class, or we talk about the secondary class. And the dark right color at the front and at the tail part, that'll be the business class. So overall, it's around 549 seats. I can tell today it's fully packed, fully occupied this morning. So I'm so excited because this is so fast, and today actually no empty seats. So we have media friends from mainland China and a lot actually from Hong Kong. They really attach great importance about the train. They had a lot of media coverage. But it's just lived a very short time. 90 minutes, they need to have all the video taking, interviewing is so short. But I can tell the people really busy doing their work, but very soon they say, just arrived in the station. We also talk to other passengers. They feel quite a pity because it's just short distance today, just from West Kowloon Station to Shenzhen North Station. A lot of distance actually in Hong Kong, but that's the tunnel part. So the speed, although the design speed is 350 kilometer per hour, but the maximum should just reach 200. So the passengers say next time I would like to experience the fastest speed for a long distance journey. So because it's going through the tunnel, so it cannot really pass a certain speed threshold. So also have a Wi-Fi available, although the Wi-Fi is not quite stable because of passing through the tunnels. So Wi-Fi, I believe that's a very good design, very useful. So for today, I started my day before 5 a.m. when we arrived at the station. We just used 20 minutes to arrive at the station. We thought we should be the first one, but there are a whole line lining up in front of the station. We have passengers that's around 600, but with all the staffs, with the media friends, we can tell you actually we have a crowded people gathering there. So talk about the whole experience. So I got the whole experience of getting on this high-speed train. Actually, I took some pictures. I can tell you co-location border check arrangement. This has been mentioned for many times, but this is so convenient. So at the same place, you can do all the border check process within 5 minutes. You can finish all the process. So just within 100-meter distance. And they also have 3 duty-free shops. So good for passengers, so that's no boring part at the station. So after the border check, you also have 3 shops for you. So also with the luggages, you don't need to worry. Then there's no big stairs, no big distance. So it's also like we have a lot of things to quite facilitate the whole process. But for the passengers, quite frequently travel between mainland China and Hong Kong. This is so convenient. So I'm really, really satisfied for my experience. So thank you so much. So my colleague Gan Lu, I can tell she's very satisfied, very happy for the whole journey. Let's get on board. So I believe the train will be here for 20 minutes and 7:40 we'll head the trip back.
车上将会做一些工作，我们在这个
So we'll do some cleaning jobs. So let's
首先大家
look
可以
at
看一下这个
the internal design.
它都是有这个中文、英文和这个繁体字。
So we have designed
然后
in
呢，整个车厢
Chinese,
是
simplified Chinese, traditional Chinese, and
灰
English.
色、红
Very
色
clean.
和橙色相间的这个
With
帐篷
color
看着非
white,
常的
gray,
清
and
新非常的动感
orange. Very fresh, very energetic,
那么接下来呢，我们可以
and fashion.
来到前面这个列车。在这里，我们来问一下这个王书记，现在呢，这个高铁停在这里，他现在是在
So
做哪些
Mr.
工作呢
Wang, so when the train stop here, so what kind of job you need to do?
同时我们对列车啊
So we will, all the passengers need to get off, and we will also do the cleaning up,
推工作。
and to do the preparation for the train ready to going back to Hong Kong. As
咱们以往可能高铁停留它有一个转座，在这里没有看到这个转座。
so we didn't see actually the seats turning
香港车应该也面临一个
the direction,
这个模式我们还
so they will also turn
稍微少一点。
the seats.
香港
So let's see whether the seats will be
这个
turning the directions.
转了，但是这个开行方向呢是折返，是返回去的，所以
So very soon the train will head back to Hong Kong.
司机从这个过来的方向，那么他要在这个时间之内呢赶到另外一个方向，
So the driver, well, from the head to the tail,
会完成一些这个安全检查呀这样的工作。
and we'll also do some security check for the whole train, and we'll clean up the train.
今天呢，我们看到最多的呢就是旅客纷纷拿出手机来拍摄我们的
I can
首
see
发列车。
many passengers take pictures with the first train, the first long train from Hong Kong to Shenzhen.
大家可以看一下哈，除了硬件方面呢，这个车型会有一些不同。
So besides the hardware, we talk about the look a little bit different. But what about the service part?
我们接下来呢，可以来到我们的这个列车里。您好，打扰一下，想问一下您是哪一节列车的这个支撑人
Sorry,
员？
I would like to ask.
乘人员，我是机务经理。
机务经理是吧？您好。
So I'm the manager of the train. So I would like to ask, this is the first train departure from Hong Kong to Shenzhen to mainland China. So what kind of trainings you received before?
你是说司机还是？
You talk about the drivers or
经过了哪些准备？
also the staff like you yourself?
国家局的。
I will talk about the
依据的，就是
drivers are actually the same as the other trains.
也是依据的。那
And also same with the
其实也差不多，就是经过
mainland China's requirement, and we'll talk about the tea staffs here. Actually, we also receive the training from mainland China.
我们粤语还有
We have like English, Cantonese,
简体字。你们之前有没有经过一些包括这方面普通话呀、简体字啊这方面的？
and also received the training like the simplified Chinese or the Mandarin. Yes, we also trained, received the Mandarin class.
比较差。
那您能帮我们找一位咱们这个工作人员来展示一下吗？普通话学的
So
比较好
can we talk to a one staff here?
工作人员来看一看。我们 们可以看到这个站台上呢，除了咱们这么多媒体同行在工作呢，他们还有紧张的来传稿件。相信呢，大家很快就能够看到这个相关的报道了。
So for this crowded media, our colleagues, we will see this is a big news today, and very soon you will see all the media coverage here today. All right. So this is the chief staff of the train. So what kind of trainings or the preparations you received? So especially for this train, the first launch train. Actually, we got the training in mainland China. And the crew member actually also had the meetings. We talk about today's arrangement. So we talk about the train from mainland China to Hong Kong. We also received the Cantonese training. So you believe you also received the Mandarin training? Yes. 3 months training. Mandarin, so we need to reach a certain level of our Mandarin skills. Right, we talk about the software, hardware, the facilities in the stations. We had a full experience of the first day of the train from Hong Kong to mainland China, and we also witnessed the train from Shenzhen to Hong Kong. So we had the correspondent Gan Lu from Hong Kong and also shared her experience on board, and we also see the passengers with their happy faces. And they took a lot of pictures to record this great moment. I believe this is really welcomed by all the passengers. So this is a very happy moment, very historic moment, and also with today, we will also strengthen the tie between mainland China and Hong Kong. And we also will have the Hong Kong people have more trips to mainland China and shorten the traveling time in between to make our transportation and the journey a better experience. Very soon, the train will head back to Hong Kong. And this is from Shenzhen. Thank you for watching.